Live streaming is on.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Hope you can. Welcome to the virtual repair cafe for this Thursday the 11th of November 2021. We're just waiting for people to come and join the stream. Hopefully there'll be some folks along in a moment, so while waiting, just got a few bits and pieces to do and to tell you. First thing to tell you is if you are watching this on YouTube, you can take part in the virtual repair cafe. Come and ask us questions about anything sort of technical or anything that you've got that you need help with. The way to do it is to join the live stream, which you can by clicking on the link that you can find on the Repair Sheffield website, which is sheffieldrepaircafe.colepress.net. That's Sheffield Repair Cafe, all one word, .colepress.net. Up near the top of the screen on the right hand side, you'll see a link that says click here to join the live event, and then you can join through your browser on whatever device you're on, whether it be a computer, a phone, a tablet, whatever. You can join up with us through that, and you'll be able to take part in what we're doing. There's no YouTube chat on this tonight. We don't put a chat on these Repair Sheffield live streams, purely and simply because I can't look at about 3 different things at once. But if you want to take part, as I say, go to the website sheffieldrepaircafe.colepress.net, and you can click on the thing there to take part. What's that? Right, we're just waiting for folks to start appearing. Looks like somebody's in. Evening, Alan. Can you hear me? You can't hear me, obviously. I can see you, but you can't hear me. It would appear. No sound. You need to turn the sound on, Alan. You've got no sound. Actually, I can text him, tell him. Can you hear us, Alan? You know what? I don't think he can. Can you hear? I should be able to send him a message. Can you hear me this time?
It might be working now.
Oh God, you're quiet. That's ridiculously quiet.
Yeah. Pass.
Turn it up.
I can't.
Get the microphone settings and wallow it up to the top.
I can't. Yeah.
What do you mean you can't? I can't hear you at all.
I don't
Can't hear you at all.
I don't know where microphone settings are.
Can't hear you. No point talking to me. I can't hear you. Your sound is on because it's registering that it's on, but I can't hear you. It's far, far, far too low. It wants going up by about 30 decibels. Try again. Right, try that again. Right, I'm going to switch to the machine on while we're waiting for Alan to reappear. And,
Is that any better?
no, it's no better. It's terrible. It's far worse than it was last week. What have you done to it?
Nothing. Not a thing.
You need to go into the control panel thing, what used to be at the bottom of the screen on a sensible operating system, and get the microphone settings, and then go into microphone and turn the fader right the way up.
Yeah, and I don't know where.
Oh, hang on. Try again, Alan.
I don't know where you changed that on the iPhone.
My apologies. It might have been me. It might have been me. You're still not massively loud, but I've managed to make you louder than you were.
Right. Now I don't know where to adjust microphone. I've never seen microphone settings on the iPhone.
That's a good question. There must be some somewhere. I would have thought. Are you on an iPhone?
Yeah.
Well, that explains why it's not working right. iPhones and DAB radios, all crap.
And none of the speakers work. None of the microphones work on the two desktop PCs. What I've got, because it's all cancelled out by the speech.
Well, it shouldn't be. It wants something doing with the sound card. Then it sounds like in the PCs.
Yeah.
You should be able to do it. It'll be something to do with the sound card settings. That
we tried that a number of times, though, haven't we?
No, not the sound card, I don't think.
So,
It'll be the try the sound settings, but that's not the same thing as the sound card. Like the sound card drivers or whatever. You might have to put a separate sound card in with more inputs and outputs on it. Because if your sound card's only got like one output that the speech grabs hold of, then you'll not be able to hear any of your other sound. So what you want is one with more than one output, so you can put the speech on one output and everything else on another output, so it can do both things at once.
yeah, but we can do that, but it still can't do anything with adjusting the microphone volume going in. Because
No.
I can have the speech of you talking coming through the PC speakers and the screen reader coming through the headphones.
All right. I don't know
Like, but I can't do it with microphones.
why it won't do that, because I've got sound settings on mine. You know, I've got like a little microphone icon at the bottom on the bottom panel thing, and I can click that and I can turn the input volume up and down on it.
I can turn it up and down, but as soon as you come out of it, it just defaults back down. Don't know what and why, unless I've got microphones on it.
I don't know.
So that's why I started using it on the phone.
Yeah. Well, it's a Windows PC, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a bin here if you want to use it. So I can't take with Windows, I'm afraid. It's years and years and years since I've used Windows, so I don't, since I even touched a computer with Windows on. So I can't help you now. The last Windows I used was Windows XP. That tells you how long ago it is.
Yeah.
Now the question is, has Gordon remembered?
Lock screen.
That's the question tonight.
Well, there you go.
Your desktop.
I'm burning CDs as well as I'm sat here. I'm burning CDs onto the radio automation software.
Down arrow, up arrow. Has attachment 5 brailers from up arrow. Has attachment white heather check mark order up arrow.
Yeah, where are we?
I see.
You see?
Yeah, burning CDs.
Yeah.
Pirate radio.
No, not pirate. Fully operational legal radio. I think. But yeah, it takes a lot of doing. Whose am I going to do next? We'll try Shania Twain, I think. There's 2 broadcast mixers sat in my front room at the minute.
Don't say that too loud, because Sandra will say she wants one for making cakes.
What, sorry?
Don't say that too loud, because Sandra will say she wants one for making cakes.
For making what?
Cake.
Cakes? No, not that sort of mixer. Oh, my brain hurts. Yeah, not quite that sort of mixer. But, yeah.
There you go.
We're around here a minute. I'll just move sides a minute so I can set this going, because it takes it ages. call this? Right. Have you opened your boxes? Oh, you're just opening them now, but it looks a bit.
Yeah.
Is that going to do its thing? Yes, it's doing it. Alright, set that going. So we're alright now.
Alright then.
That's making a funny noise.
What's making a funny noise?
My CD burning machine.
Alright.
In fact, I bet that's going to hold the camera on me because of that. How's your unboxing going?
Just starting.
God, your picture's gone terrible. The iPhone.
Right.
That's better. You're back to normal again now. Where are you, Gordon? Oh, somebody's sending me messages. I've made a discovery about DAB radios today, Alan.
Yeah.
So, an interesting one, this. Did you know if you listen to a given radio station on DAB rather than FM, the radio uses 20 times more power if it's a DAB radio than if it's an ordinary FM radio?
Right.
20 times.
Yeah.
There's a chap who's put a video up on YouTube about it. He's got a ordinary FM radio from sort of 1970 something and a modern Roberts DAB radio, and he's wired them up to multimeters, switched them on, and then he's done the conversion. Cost the old one runs on 12 volts and the new one runs on 9 volts, so he's took that into account, and the DAB one uses 20 times more power than the old FM one does.
Right, well, there you go.
So sling out your DAB radios, get your old FM radio out, and use your old FM radio. is the takeaway from that. Because you should have 1/20th of the electricity bill. I was quite surprised. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's a bit something, isn't it, really, for doing that?
It really surprised me, that did.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have thought it'd have been taking less with modern electronics.
Yeah. But apparently not. So I'll just nobble in some of my some of the stuff that's draining my internet at the minute.
False economy like that 110 power tool situation.
Like that what? Power situation?
110 volt power tool situation.
Yes, I think you could well be right.
They make us think that it's better, but it's not really. They're trying to brainwash.
No, it's not. No, right, I managed to make you a bit louder still now. I think. How am I doing? I've got 50% of my CD. Oh, we found anything exciting in the boxes then?
The last one says, works perfectly, but jumps every now and again. How can it work perfectly?
Yeah, I see one. Yeah. Works perfectly except for when it jumps.
Yeah. But it doesn't, it feels stiff to me.
Probably means it jumps the other way, i.e. doesn't move on.
Yeah, it's the carriage doesn't run as freely as I would like it to.
It probably doesn't move on, it probably stays on the previous character. So effectively jumps back.
Yeah. This machine, it's about Bigfoot across the page, and then it's chapter. Huh. Right. That one, the bell strikers jammed in the margin. But he's still there.
Oh yeah, I'm still here, yeah.
It's all right because all the background noise went.
Yeah, I turned the microphone off so so it doesn't keep bringing the camera back to me because I've got a bit of background noise. It looks like Gordon's appeared. Evening, Gordon.
Evening.
Evening.
He's just putting his ears in.
Right.
He's got his ears in by the looks of it.
Yep, I'm here.
Better as well tonight. You're more clearer than you were last week.
Oh, good. Well, perhaps the signal's working. I've only got my name. I've not got my name right.
You paid your phone bill.
Oh,
I don't know what you have to. Oh, hang on. How do you change your name?
you click in the box at the bottom.
Yeah, I think you do. Is it in settings?
No, it's on the screen. On the screen, you just type into the box at the bottom of your screen, which says "me."
Oh, right.
I think that's what I've just done.
Yeah, you can, yes, you can do it that way. Yeah, I've just tried it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can change your own, but you can't change anybody else's,
Of
obviously.
course. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Gordon,
Yes.
we need to hire a room, and well, I'm looking to rent a bit of office space. Do we know of any anywhere?
Office space.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine has office space in Nether Edge, which is where I do my gardening job.
In Nether Edge.
I don't know what he wants. What's the office space for?
It'll be very expensive in Nether Edge, no doubt.
Well, it's not brilliantly maintained, so it's an old house, so it might not be too bad. It's an old Victorian house, and each of the original rooms in the house is now an office.
That's all right. The what it is, I've acquired basically most of a radio station.
All right.
It's currently piled up in my front room, so
Right.
we thought we'd set it up and give Chef Live a run for the money.
Right. But so how's this going to be financed then? Because this office room has to be rented.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, I'm hoping the rent's not going to be massively huge.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering, because he's got vacancies, he might be advertising on the internet.
Some places, the sort of we're looking somewhere in the region of up to around about 50 quid a week for a small space. But it can be a very small space, though. It doesn't need to be massive.
Right.
We all think, looking at that, I'm going to see if I can find the music that I've just put on here. Right, that's rolling. I'm testing out my the software for it at the minute. Seems to be working. It's got very quiet.
We're all working.
You working?
Yeah.
You've totally disappeared. You have, Alan. I don't know where you've gone.
I'm in the Perkins repair station.
All right. Yeah, we can't see the Perkins repair station at the minute.
Right. Can you still hear me?
We can still hear you, Gordon. Yeah.
Oh, good. It says here from £100 per person per month.
That would be extremely good.
Right. Told you it wasn't much.
That would.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, send me a link to him, and I'll drop him a line in the morning or something.
Is there a chat?
A chat
in here.
Oh,
I'll send you the link in the chat now.
Yeah, the chat will disappear, though, I think, Gordon.
Well, all you got to do is click on the link and let your browser save it.
Yeah. Oh, right. I'll do that. Yeah. Open chat. Fourth thing along.
I've done it. It should be there.
Oh, yeah. It looks like it is. I do believe I've got that. Yeah. Right. If I now save that. Yeah, I think we've got that.
It says from, of course. I don't know how much. I know that there is a complete suite on the ground floor, in the rear ground floor.
Yeah.
But so that could well be more expensive because it's like 3 rooms and separate facilities. But one of the other rooms, the smallest amount is probably just for a single room.
Yeah, that's we want small. We don't want huge. We want small.
Yeah.
Small for the desk. I don't know if I can show you a photograph of the desk because I can do what's it up here, can't I?
Yeah.
I can do. How do you do it? Is it screen share you do?
Yes. If you want to share a picture with me.
Right, hang on, man. Oh, hang on. Right, I'll find a photo. Hang on a minute. If I now lose that, can you see that, Gordon?
No, I can still see you.
Oh, well, that hasn't worked then. Can you still see me now?
Yeah. Are you using toggle screen share?
Yeah.
And then select it. You've got to select a screen.
I have done. let's try that again. Toggle screen share. And it won't do it. I can't make it do that.
You've got to allow your browser to access the rest of the computer, I think, as well.
Just show us the screen. Won't do it. I can't even turn it on or off that now.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it as well, and I've gone and my browser's blocked it.
Right. I'm allowing it now. Right. Select window or screen.
Yep.
Image. There. Allow.
Oh, now I've got it. Right.
Is that the picture of it that you've got?
That's a picture of it sat in your room. It's not, but I thought it was. Is there quite a bit more of it than that, or is it just that desk?
Well, that's the desk is the main thing, but
yes.
then there's a computer that goes with it, and well, there'll be a couple of computers actually that have to go with it. But you obviously set that into a desk. You normally sort of build a desk around them.
Yes.
Can you see a picture of it in the dark now?
Yep.
So by doing that, I can show you different pictures then. Yeah, that's it. That's it in the dark with all its lights on, and that's it in the daylight.
Right.
Right. How do you switch it off now? This screen share.
Toggle
thing?
screen share. Toggle means what it says.
I can't see it now though.
Oh, it's at the bottom.
Oh, there. Toggle screen share. No. Hello.
That's better. Right, you're back.
Now. That's a faff just to show a picture with this system, isn't it?
It's a bit clunky compared with Zoom. Yes.
It's a lot clunky, that is.
Yes. But it achieves the result.
But
it won't feel clunky next time.
No.
No.
I've got two of those desks anyway. One of them.
So if you're going to use it, how are you going to get? Are you just going to put this up on the internet? You're not going to broadcast.
Yes. Well. The way things are going, Gordon, in the broadcast world anyway.
Yes.
There'll be a time very soon when you don't have traditional radio, I think.
Yeah.
Because more and more people are now using the internet to have things like radio and TV delivered. Yes. Particularly radio, now they're all getting these Alexa things and these Google Homes. Because Alan listens to radio over Google Home, don't you, Alan?
We do, yeah.
Do you use that all the time now, rather than the digital radios?
Yes.
See, it's easier, isn't it? You just speak to it and it does it.
Yeah, you haven't got to get out of your chair to turn it up and down. You just tell it to shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm in the dark ages, but I don't listen to the radio anyway, so it's not an issue. If I did want to listen to something on the radio, it would be streamed through BBC Sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the way ahead to do it.
Yes.
The good news is though this desk is analog. It is proper.
Yes, I guessed that from its appearance. So you connect the desk to a computer. You connect the computer to the internet. And turn one of the computers into a server to do the work.
Sort of, yes. What you do, first thing is this computer that's sat behind me now.
Yeah.
This one has all the music and the jingles and whatever else on it. Yeah. So that acts as what used to call cart machines.
Yeah.
That play the jingles and things. So that's your cart machines and your record decks and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That goes as an input into the mixer. Yeah. Anything that's happening live in the studio goes through microphones, obviously, as an input into the mixer.
Yeah.
Or you can input stuff from whatever other device you want, like CDs or whatever. Then the output from the mixer, which is just a stereo output, can go through all kinds of boxes of tricks to make it sound better. It can go through compressors and normalizers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it comes out of the sound desk, and then it goes into another computer, which digitizes it and sends it over the internet to a server.
Right. So you're pay. That means you've got to pay for some space on the server.
Yeah, you pay a small, like hosting a website, like you pay to host a website. Yeah. You can have a free website, but you get better quality if you pay for it.
Yes.
But because of the bandwidth, the problem is you can host the server yourself. The problem is when a number of people get connected to it at once.
Yeah.
If you host it, your ordinary internet connection wouldn't be able to cope with all those people.
Yes.
Downloading stuff from it at once.
Right. So what? A friend of mine was talking about. He lives around the corner, and he is setting up a fiber to home to give him 500 megabits.
Yeah.
And he's going to run a server from that.
Yeah, you've got more of a chance at that, haven't you?
Yes.
But when you think the thing's got to be on all the time.
Yes.
And the power that because servers are quite power hungry, aren't they? Some of them.
They can be, yes.
You might as well spend the 5 or 10 quid a month or whatever it is to have it hosted somewhere else.
Yes.
And it's one less thing you've got to have running all the time and maintaining all the time. So I don't think there's anything financially to gain by running it yourself.
Right.
Really, when you work it out.
Well, I've no idea what my friend wants to do with all of this. So he's presumably done the business case, or he might just be doing it for fun to see what he can do because he's a bit like that.
Yeah. Well, I've got the VoIP server here for the phones, which runs on an old thin client.
Yes.
But because it's on a thin client, there's no fans or anything inside it.
Yeah.
So it actually doesn't use much in the way of electric.
Mm.
It's more or less a Raspberry Pi. It's more or less a souped-up Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
That's doing it. So that's the nearest I get to running a server.
And the next step is how are you going to get this out there? How are you going to advertise it? Make yourself known.
Well, that's it. You have to. You just have to advertise it.
But you'll need it. What's going to be your unique selling point that makes people want to come to you rather than to the millions of others?
It'll be better. You're sounding like a bank manager.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested because the unique selling point might actually be, I'm using the technical term, but what's going to make yours fun? I'll use that term instead.
Basically, it's going to be better. There's a gap. Well, first thing is, no radio stations ever seem to fail.
Yeah. Everybody
that I've ever spoken to who started one, no matter how bad they've been at it, have been successful.
Right.
They don't seem to fail.
Yeah.
But I think there's a gap I think there's a gap between the sort of professional glossiness of stations like Hallam,
Yeah.
and the content driven but very poorly packaged stations like Radio Sheffield.
Right.
So somewhere in the middle of there
Mhm.
is an intersection point
Yes.
somewhere between those two, because Radio Sheffield is very what I would call dry, and Hallam is very whizzy with all its jingles and its
Yeah.
beds and things, but it lacks in content.
Yeah.
So somewhere between those two is a sort of perfect middle ground, I think.
Yeah. And one of the things about putting content out is you potentially have to pay royalties.
Only a set fee to PRS and PPL, and with internet-based stations, it varies depending on how many people listen, because obviously when you're streaming, you know how many people are listening for how long.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can,
and on that theme, is anybody listening tonight?
on YouTube, do you mean?
Yes. Well, watching. Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now. There's 3 connected to it at the minute, apparently.
Right. Yes.
There was 4 a little while ago.
Yep.
But yeah.
Because I've got a couple of stories for tonight.
Go on then, fire away.
Right. The first one is that I was called out at 9 o'clock last night because the neighbour of a friend round the corner had locked themselves out of their house. Earlier that day, they fitted a new Yale lock to their front door and forgot the key when they went out. So when they came back with a young child as well who needed to get up for school the next morning, so all the windows were locked. They thought they had a key to the back door, but that turned out to be the wrong key. I don't know what the key was for, but it didn't fit the lock on the back door, so they were completely stuck. And it's one of these front doors with a couple of glass panels. So they in desperation, they decided to try and smash it, and discovered it was double glazed. So
it just bounced off.
Well, they managed to smash the outer pane, but the inner pane just started to bounce because by then it was loose in its frame, so it wasn't rigid enough to actually get enough force in the blow. And so they called in the emergency locksmith, to come out. The emergency locksmith is involved in a non-serious car accident, but it disabled his car, so he couldn't come. So they were stuck there. After 2 hours, they resorted to this desperate measure with a hammer.
So did the locksmith have his car accident on his way to your friends?
That's right, on his way. So they rang me, thinking, oh, well, here's a resourceful bloke, which is nice to know. So what actually happened in the end was, by repeatedly hitting the inner pane of the double glazing panel, we sprung it from its frame, and then they was able to just put their hand in between the glass and the window frame and pull down the latch. And then they were in. And then we were able to screw that inner pane of the double glazing panel back into the door frame to make it secure. And that's how it was left. So that was fun.
Sounds like it.
Yes. So,
I'm amazed they had a Yale lock though, because I've not seen a Yale lock fitted to anything new for ages and ages and ages. I thought people weren't having Yale locks these days for precisely that reason.
Well, yes. I mean, we've got a lock on a latch. It's not a Yale lock; it's a Euro cylinder, but it's essentially the same thing. You just have to. But what we've got is that neighbours have spare keys, and we have their spare keys. So all you have to do is go and bang on a neighbour's door and say, "Sorry, I've got my key," and they'll give you the spare and let you in. You can let yourself in and give the spare back.
Yeah.
But, this was a brand new one. She'd only fitted it that morning. She hadn't even got any extra keys cut in order to give the neighbour one in case they got locked out. So,
oops.
Oops. Yes. And it was rather unfortunate because she'd also recently restored and painted the door frame, which was now completely knackered.
Oh, right.
Splinters and things. And a very nice frosted glass panel got trashed as well. But anyway, that's the story. There you go.
Yes, that's not very good when that happens.
No. Yes.
But I've noticed though, talking about doors and locks, that a lot of people these days have what look like Yale locks for all intents and purposes, but they don't have that latching mechanism anymore.
Right. So they're essentially a deadlock.
Yeah, it just opens and closes. But it's like a Yale key that you have to open them. It's not.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned mortise key. Yeah. But it works in the old-fashioned mortise key way. It just locks and unlocks. Yeah. It hasn't got that. Because
it hasn't got a latch, in other words.
Yeah, I don't know why Yale do that.
It's the way. Well, that's the way they work. Yeah.
I mean, I can understand having a latch so you can latch it unlocked.
Yes.
But why have it so that it can close on you?
Yeah.
Why is that a feature? That seems stupid. I've never come across a situation where I've needed that feature.
Yes. But did I tell you about when we were out? We were in holiday in Whitby, and the latch broke on the door to the bedroom. Did I tell you that one?
No, not in this one.
This was another one. So we noticed when we arrived that the door to the bedroom the latch was a bit stiff. Yeah, we didn't think too much about it, and then on the last night, just before we were going to go to bed, we for some reason or other shut the door. I think we had the window open in the bedroom for air, and we didn't want to get a draft, so we shut the door. And then when it came to open the door to go to bed, the latch ceased to work. You turned the handle, and it just turned without actually moving the bolt. And what had happened is the way these things are made, there's a cast square section that the door handle goes through, which then operates a lever which unlatches the door, and that had actually fractured. So all that was happening was the door handle was turning in this thing. And it's interesting that on further investigation, it was a very, very, very cheap one, very cheap and nasty, and it looks like the casting was probably not very good, and that repeated use just meant that it cracked wider and wider and wider until it cracked so far that you could just turn the door handle in the thing without it moving. So that one involved taking the door jamb off, which was screwed, fortunately. And then that reveals the latch, and then you just have to push a screwdriver in and spring the latch. So, but then that all had to be reassembled and a new latch bought. So that kept me out of trouble.
Good at getting locked in, stroke locked out of things.
Yes. But knowing how that the end, that's the thing. So that was a good one. But the other thing is renovating a garden bench is my latest project. This is for an elderly friend of ours.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
And all it consists of is it's got cast iron ends and wooden lats, and all that's wrong with it is that the ends of the lats have started to rot. Yeah, where it's bolted to the iron ends, but the whole thing's jiggery. You can't screw it down anymore. So somebody was saying, well, why don't we just buy? You can buy a kit apparently to remake a garden bench, yeah, which consists of bolts and new lats. And I just said, well, all you have to do is make the bench 2 inches narrower by sawing off the ends, yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, all the lats have been separated from the ends. And it's a case of everything's rusted up, so cutting all the bolts off. All it needs doing is truing up, treating with wood preserver, painting, and then bolting all back together again.
Yeah. When I was in the antique centre, I made some single seat benches.
Yeah.
For people's gardens, and what we did was we got these bench ends. You can often find these bench ends for sale on eBay and stuff.
Oh yeah,
for about a tenner a pair. Because these benches rot away to nothingness, and all that you end up left with is the ends, isn't it?
Yes.
So I used to buy them and then go down B&Q and buy some 2x1 timber. And cut that to length and just make a short bench so it was just like big enough for one person, because you couldn't buy them for one person. No, it was very difficult to buy one for one person. Mm-hmm. And they sold quite well.
Yeah. And there you have all those people with benches. It's quite likely that the wood in the middle is perfectly sound, and you could make yourself a single seater wooden bench from the old one. Because it's only the ends that go. The wood in the middle is usually pretty sound.
If the wood in the middle is any good, and also some of them don't have lats for the back. They have like a square panel in the back that you can't shorten.
Yeah.
It'll be like a cast iron bit in a wooden frame sort of thing, and you can't cut it short. A lot of the sort of modern benches that are supposed to look old-fashioned have that, so you can't shorten them easily.
No, there is that. Yes. No, I've come across those. No, I made a bench for our son and daughter-in-law, and I found a couple of bench ends, like you were describing, on the pavement, obviously left there for the rag and bone man to come and collect, which is what they do, looking for scrap metal. And they were burnt to bare metal, and it looks like this guy had just made a bonfire, stuck the rotten bench on the bonfire, and then when it cooled down, fished the ends out, and stuck them outside on the pavement. So I didn't have to rub all the old paint off. It just needed cleaning up and repainting.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and I didn't have to go to B&Q either. I found a whole load of 2x1 lats in a skip, hardwood ones as well.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Marvellous what you can find in skips.
Yes.
That's all right then. Find a bench or two or 10. But I made a few of those in my time.
Yeah.
I've still got one here. Was the last single seat one that I did was still at Antique Centre when I stopped doing it. So it's sat here, and quite comfortable chair sort of thing.
Yeah.
It don't go like that plastic garden furniture that you get. You know.
Yeah. Oh my God, no.
You get a bit of wind, it stays there because it's just out.
So where was the antiques place then?
So I had the standing.
Yeah.
I had two. I had one in Bolsover.
Right.
Bolsover Antique Centre, which is an old pub in Bolsover, but it's a massive pub. But before that, I was briefly in Healy Bank.
Oh, Healy Bank. Now, which one's that?
The one that was the bank at Healy.
Oh, I thought you meant Healy Bank, a place on the side of Healy. No, they hit the bank at Healy. Right, yes.
Healy Bank on the bottom, near the traffic lights. If you're going out of the city centre towards Chesterfield,
yeah,
that set of traffic lights you always have to stop at.
Yes.
on the left-hand side of that, near to what is it? It's near to Alan. It's not. It's not Tool Station, is it? It's Machine Mart, isn't it?
Machine Mart. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You always have to stop. Right. They don't want to put a pile of stuff outside because they know that people have to stop at those traffic lights. Yeah. So they put a pile of stuff outside, so people go, oh, well, yeah, I wanted one of those, and then they go back in and buy it.
Yes.
Yeah. They browse while they were sat at the traffic light.
Right. Yeah, Healy Bottom is what the place is called.
Yeah. Healy Bank Antique Centre.
Healy Bank Antique Centre in Healy Bottom. Yes.
In Healy Bottom, yeah, because it was the bank.
We could split hairs and say it was Lowfields.
No. Lowfields is further over.
I've got no idea. I'll leave you two to argue about that. I'm not good with my
I would describe Lowfields as further along Queen's Road and up towards Highfields, that area.
Yeah.
By the time you get down to the old bank at Healy Bottom, that's Healy Bottom.
Yeah, but it's opposite what is known as the Lowfield School.
True. Yeah, because Lowfield School's right down in the corner at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the far edge of Lowfields. Basically,
on the opposite side of the road.
if you cross over from the school, you're in Healy Bottom.
But there you go.
Yeah.
I've got no idea. My geography around Sheffield is not good.
But people in Sheffield get very fussy about the names of their particular districts.
Yeah, they get fussy everywhere. Go to Blackpool and get on a tram going north and tell you want to get off at Cleverleys. They go absolutely bonkers. Cleverleys and Bicebone.
I've never heard of them. No. But we're going to Morecambe next week.
Morecambe?
Yep.
You're not going cockle picking, are you?
No.
Why are you going to Morecambe in November?
We're going to stay in the Midlands Hotel.
Yeah, but why are you doing it in November, Gordon?
Because we're going to see the Art Deco building. We're not too bothered about the weather.
All right.
We're actually just stopping overnight in the hotel.
Right, I see.
And they do an overnight dinner and bed breakfast and dinner deal, which is nice.
So you're going for one night or 2 nights? Then?
Oh, one night. So it's just one night. Dinner when you get there, and breakfast in the morning.
Yeah. Do you get the night you've had dinner then?
Yeah. So you have to get there
in the afternoon, sort of thing.
That's
you
right,
have dinner, your B&B, and then you get your breakfast, and then they kick you out again.
That's right. Yes.
Oh. That's I've never heard of anybody doing it for one night. I thought most hotels did that for 2 nights or 3 nights, sort of thing.
Right. Well, I presume that it's not cheap. That's the thing. But we're hoping for very good service to justify the expense.
Yeah. Well, it'll not be cheap. That's why I queried it for being one night. You see, because if you're only there for one night, they've obviously got to turn the rooms over. And that.
That's right. Yes. And
that's what makes it expensive. That's why some hotels you stay in, they say you've got to book a minimum of 2 or 3 nights or something to make it.
Or some of them they do either weekend or midweek, and they don't split it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that should be all right. Morecambe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about Morecambe. Have I ever been to Morecambe? I think I've been maybe once to Morecambe.
No, the only thing I know about Morecambe is it's got the famous Art Deco hotel in it. That's the only thing I know about the place.
I didn't even know that. I know it's where Eric Bartholomew comes from, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's about all I can. In fact, I think there's a statue of him now somewhere. But that's about all I can tell you about Morecambe.
Right. I'll get you a picture of it. If I can get it up.
Now, let's see if you have any more luck with this than I did. Did you find anything interesting in your boxes, Alan?
No, not really.
Yeah.
It looks as though they predominantly just want a service. We shall see. But there was an interesting thing in one of them, though. Press down the space bar and .6 was twanging.
Clanging?
Yeah. And basically, there's that much gunge and gunk on it, it was actually sticking to the rail on the bottom of the space bar. When you press the space bar so far, it was releasing and then twanging back up.
Oh,
So
sounds like it needs a dunk in the cleaning fluid. That
it does. Yeah, they all need that, but I need to set that back up because we're moving everything out, and we've cleaned out all under the carport and everything's got moved around.
Yeah. Oh.
So I need to put the cleaning bath back into action.
Yeah, cleaning bath back into service. You found it, Gordon?
Yeah, I'm just getting some interesting pictures. Well, hopefully.
Looking.
And then I've got to get the blooming sharing to work. That might be more fun.
Well, I just opened the pictures in a picture browsing application.
Yeah.
And then you do the sharing, and it says, "What do you want to share?" And you just say that application.
Right. I think I've gone and disabled the browser sharing.
What browser are you on?
Firefox.
If you've disabled it, you can re-enable it by clicking on one of the little icons up in the address.
Right. Well, let's do that then. Yeah.
There'll be a little icon with a line through it.
Right. Go on then. Share the screen. Come on.
You might have to toggle it again.
Right, let's just see if that does the trick. Toggle screen. Yeah, select window or screen.
Nope, it's still you.
No, I'm trying to find it. Pin it on our right then. There we go. Try this.
What's happened there? Oh, yes. The Midlands Hotel, Morecambe. Book direct for the best price.
Yeah, well, looking at the pictures, I'll show you this one. Come on. I don't think we'll be staying in that bathroom.
Is it genuinely Art Deco?
Yes.
Or is it sort of modern phony Art Deco?
No, it's original 1930s. Let's come out of that. Yeah, here's the outside of it.
Oh yeah, the outside's good. I like the outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent. The outside of it.
Yes. And I was trying to find a decent inside, but not doing very well. I think it's Pinterest that's letting me down here.
What's it called, this hotel?
The Midlands Hotel.
Midland Hotel in Morecambe.
Yeah, it's the original railway hotel.
Let me see if I can find anything.
Images. Yeah, the staircase is famous. Here's the staircase coming up. There's the staircase.
Hang on.
Look at the very 1930s
Yeah.
rotunda on the ceiling. Yep.
So it's survived very well, hasn't it? It's not.
Oh, it's been completely restored at great expense.
Not been messed with, that has it?
No. It's you know, have you heard of the Urban Splash people?
Oh yeah.
It's a sort of vanity project by them,
Right.
using some of their profits.
I see.
Yeah. So whether they're managing to make any money out of it, I don't know. But,
Well, it's nice to know they did something useful with some of the
yes.
profits and that. But yeah, it's quite good. That it looks a hell of a lot better than Park Hill Flats do.
Yes. Oh, here's the cocktail bar. Better picture of the cocktail bar, I hope. Yeah, because we'll be having a cocktail before dinner.
That reminds me of the TARDIS. The cocktail bar looks like the thing in the middle of the TARDIS that goes up and down.
Yeah. Oh, it's doing this bloody messing about with the images again. Oh, go away. Anyway, there you have it. That's where we're going next week.
Yeah, we've got the general gist of it, I think.
Yes.
I think you've got to stop the screen share.
Yeah, it takes some time to come down the line, the wire to you.
Well, supposedly downhill from Sheffield, it should be coming quite easily. That
Isn't it? Haven't you got me back yet?
no,
Oh,
I've still got Booking.com Midlands Hotel Morecambe updated for 2021 prices.
no.
No, you've not come back. Not quite sure what's happened there.
No, I don't know what's happening to you.
No, you're still a page of.
It's the connection speed's gone though, so it might be having some trouble.
Medium, it says at the minute.
Uh-huh.
Medium.
Yeah. Anyway,
You'll have to take photos while you're there. and stuff. So
yeah, it looks like nobody else is joining us.
No.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They've got a terrible memory.
Hmm.
They've all got an awful memory. A whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I thought Andrew would be here,
Yes.
and Ian. See, I didn't email him, see, so I've not had a chance to send them all an email that to prompt them.
Yeah.
So,
I picked up borrowed an interesting multi-tool the other day.
a multi-tool.
A multi-tool. Can you see that?
No, I can still see the Midlands Hotel Morecambe.
Oh. I'll tell you what.
What happens if you shut that page?
That's what I'm going to do. Right.
Right.
What's it say here?
We wait with bated breath.
Wait, rest to get rid of Morecambe. Ah.
I think you're stuck with it personally now.
Well, I can rejoin, but how the blooming heck do you leave it? Where are we? I'm going to have to. Oh, the big red. Put the phone down. I'll put the phone down and come back in.
Okie dokie. It's gone a minute. Because he's stuck behind Morecambe.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't technology wonderful?
Just don't want to be stuck behind Morecambe when tide comes in.
Yeah. Actually, it goes out a long way at Morecambe, doesn't it? That's what Morecambe's famous for. Tide going out a long way. I think he's coming back. Somewhere. Oh yeah, he's back.
All right, you got me now.
Yes, we've got you now. Yeah, you're not stuck behind Morecambe anymore.
Right. Yes, this is a multi-tool.
Oh yeah.
By Spear and Jackson. It's very heavy, solid metal. It turns into a pair of secateurs. Yeah. And what have we got? Kitchen knife. Also associated with gardening. Pruning knife. Pruning saw. And the most useful ones for your budding gardeners, yeah? You can't not have, if you're doing a bit of gardening, a bottle opener and a corkscrew.
I was just going to say the same bottle opener.
So, yeah, because I've seen some of these multi-tools, and they're a bit cheap and nasty and fall to bits as soon as you use them. But that's very nicely made.
They do, yeah. Although, having said that, I do carry one around in my pocket that I got from the pound shop years and years and years ago. When the pound shop sort of first opened at Crystal Peaks. And I've still got it. We did have to sharpen the knife on it, though. The knife was blunt from the day it was bought on it. But when we sharpened it, in fact, somebody sharpened it at Repair Cafe.
Oh, right.
I think that guy that came in. Do you remember that guy that came and did knife grinding and that? I think he only came once, a friend of Jess's.
Vaguely, yes.
And he did knife sharpening and things, and he sharpened it, and it stayed sharp since he sharpened it. So it must have been made out of a bit of decent metal, just never sharpened.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can buy them at the pound shop now.
No.
But it's only a tiny one though. It's only sort of this big sort of thing. But it's all right. That is, it does the job if suddenly you need a little knife or something. But that's quite a hefty one. That's like for going kayaking up the Orinoco River or something. That
well, yes. As you can see from its size, it fits in your pocket, fits in your hand.
Yeah.
So it's good. And also the pruning shears are very solid as well. They actually look like they might actually cut something quite substantial.
Well, when you're doing your gardening, that'll be the time to try it.
Well, except I think I really ought to give it back to whose it is. You'll be wondering where it is.
What, the knife?
Yeah, yes, because it's not mine.
Oh, I thought it was yours.
No, I borrowed it. I've not handed it back.
All right.
It's sat on my desk to remind me to take it round to him.
All right, I see.
If I leave it in my workbench, it'll just get lost amongst all the other tools.
Oh, well, yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Look at the junk on it. Yes. Yes. Need more space. I'm quite impressed with a bit of software that's running on here. It's working quite well, that.
What's this software?
It's a thing called Rivendell, Radio Automation. It runs on Linux. And radio stations all over the world use it. It's one of those Linux things where you get the software for free, but you have to pay for the support.
Right. You mean the way it ought to be?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, it's so good you never have to pay for the support because it's, it's solid.
Yeah.
You never have any problems with it generally. I found a bug in it once, but it was a bug. It wasn't an issue. It was properly a bug. It was something they hadn't coded right. But since then, it's been okay. It never crashes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm running it at the minute just to try and sort of test it to destruction.
Right.
In sort of different scenarios and see if it makes the computer overheat. Because it did. I did have problems. It's running on a desktop PC, and I did have problems with the box overheating. So I had to put it in a bigger case, basically, so it's got a bit more airflow around it. And that seems to have solved it.
Right.
This seems to be a problem with computers these days, with relatively new desktop PCs.
Welcome. Unlocking window.
They make the cases too small and put too much in them, and there's not enough airflow around them. And when you ask them to do something a bit processor intensive, they seem to pack up.
Yeah. Well, also because there's not a lot of air room for the air, they can get clogged up with dust and fluff.
5 brailers from.
Yeah, that as well.
Yes, because my wife's very old desktop started to get rather warm, and I actually had to take the whole blooming thing to bits. Goodness knows how many screws to get her at the fan and the ducting, and it was completely clogged. It would have been, I think it was actually shutting itself down because it was overheating.
Yeah.
So
that's the problem I was having with this. It was kind of partially shutting down. It was shutting down certain resources and that, so it was making things crash.
Yeah.
But I just put it in. Luckily, I had an old case that was bigger, and I just put it in the bigger case, which strangely has got less vents in it.
Yeah.
But seems to run cooler.
Yeah. And all the screw holes were in the same places. Multifunction.
Yes.
The motherboards are still being made with the screw holes in the standard IBM PC locations.
Yeah, I think it changed over many years ago.
Yeah.
They had a swap.
Yeah. Well, they changed the size of the motherboard.
Yeah, but since then it's all stayed fairly standard, I think.
Yeah.
But this one's got a fancy sound card in it with multiple outputs on it, so that takes up quite a bit of space inside it as well. But it's chugging away quite happily. It's playing Lily Allen at the minute, apparently. Works better than Chef Live.
Wow.
Never worked. It never ran to time there one. The funny thing about it though, Gordon, it's running on a version of CentOS. Have you ever heard of CentOS?
No.
One of the Linux distros, an alternative to Mint or Ubuntu.
Yes.
And I can't change the clock on it. I can't manually alter the clock.
Well, doesn't it go down the internet and get the time for you?
Well, it probably would if it were connected to the internet, but it's not.
Oh, well, that's why you can't alter the clock, because they're designed to get the time off the internet.
Yeah, but most you can also set up manually, can't you? If you click on the clock, on the time, you can normally set it manually as well. Set the date and the time manually.
Well, I'm just going to see what Ubuntu does. It's going to do anything.
I'll see what Mint does while you're doing that.
Well, I shall leave you to it.
Right, Alan. Well, yes, I'm just thinking that before Andy gave me that interesting thing to look at. I was about to say it's time to go, but I'm now going to look at this interesting thing.
Yeah, it's getting there. My computer will turn back into a pumpkin in a minute. Have you opened all your boxes then, Alan?
Yeah.
For now?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll have a look at them and give you an update.
Yeah, give us an update tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm going to have my mouth repaired tomorrow.
Your mouth repaired?
Yeah.
Right.
Dentist.
Right. I see.
Yeah, I've got to find a dentist to let people in, because I've since the first lockdown I've lost the corners of 2 teeth. But so far the fillings are holding. So
that's what happened to mine. Lost the back of a tooth with a filling, so they're doing some adjustments.
Yeah.
A bit of polyfiller. Stick it in there.
Yeah. Anyway, I've just checked on Ubuntu, and on Ubuntu you can either get the time automatically or you can set it manually.
Yeah.
So, yes.
You can on Mint as well. Well, which doesn't surprise me because Mint's based on Ubuntu, isn't it? But on CentOS, it doesn't seem that you can.
Right. Well, that's something to look up on the internet to see what that's about. There might be a command. There might be a command line that you can do it on. They've just never bothered to put a bit of graphic interface in for it.
Yeah, I might have to try plugging it into the internet and see if it does it, because it's about 3 minutes slow, the clock.
Yeah.
So since a few months ago, last time I used it, it's lost 3 minutes. Hello, Ian's appeared.
Ian's appeared.
Good evening, all. Good evening.
Well, we were about to leave, but we'll hang around and say hello now.
Well, that's why I thought I'd come on. I've been doing something else on the computer, and I thought at least I could do is say hello to you all.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
You're a bit blurry here.
Good evening.
We were just talking about the ability to manually change the time on a computer clock. What's the name of the OS, the Linux distribution, Andy? What's it called?
CentOS.
How do you spell that? How do you spell that?
CENT.
As in the currency. Cent.
Yeah, and OS.
Right. Let's see if it finds anything. The CentOS project. There we go. Yes.
I think it's closing down CentOS. I think they're stopping doing it because they're on about the next instance of Rivendell being based on something else.
Right.
Anyway, I'm off.
Alan's waiting for his cake.
Alan. We'll see you, Alan.
Where's the cake tonight, Alan?
I've been given none.
I've been given none.
No, cupboard there.
You won't need to go and find out what's happened to that.
Well, mixer's broke, innit?
It is, yeah, it's rubbish, that is. Right, I'll catch up with you soon.
I'll have to buy some spoons off.
Cheers, Alan.
Yeah. Bye.
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 No, 4. Now there's there's 3 in a blank screen, but it's not actually gone off. Oh, well. It's doing strange things, this Jitsi, tonight. How's things, Ian?
Fine, thank you. Just out of interest, but I can only see yourself and myself. Oh, Gordon's come on. But we're all quite blurred. Now, whether that's...
You're mega blurred.
Now, you're blurred, but Andy's good. Anyway, back on the time on CentOS command line.
Keep turning it, Ian. Keep turning it. Whoa, stop. Stop. That's it. That's better.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's a command line.
It's in the command line, is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. That there's not. It's not in the graph because you can set the blooming date in the graphics.
Yeah. I'll put it on into chat. You can see what the command is. It's out there on the internet, not surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, I've not even looked for it. I only realised today that I couldn't do it. Yeah. Oh, Ian's clear now. He's come clear now. You know, this JITS, it seems to clear up after a while. Once you've been connected a while, it seems to get better.
Well, it was user error again. I think I must have caught the focus. So I've only twisted the focus, and that's sorted it.
It looks like the radios are multiplying.
They are indeed, yes. Neither.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry,
you're putting them too close to each other, Ian. They're breeding.
No, because I only have 3.
Anyway, I'll put that command in chat, Andy. It's quite straightforward.
Oh, yeah. Right. Time, date, control, set time. Hours, minutes, seconds.
Yep.
Excellent. I might have to write that down.
That looked painful, Gordon, whatever it was.
I'm tired. I'm reading an interesting article of relevance to running a repair cafe and a lot of other things to do with living sensibly. Called. Sorry?
It looks as though you'd sat on a pin at that moment.
Right. No. I'm
you
just.
want to freeze right at that moment.
Just stiff and wanting to try. I've been sat in this chair for all this time because you came in late, Ian. And I really want to go and sit in the sofa in the warm room with the fire instead of getting stiff and cold in this room. Anyway, this article's called "The Dangers of Safetyism." Safetyism is a word. Obsession with health and safety. Yeah. And it says here, this is the sentence. This is the killer sentence. The defining feature of safetyism is the displacement of judgment by procedure.
Yep.
How about that for a fine bit of...
Yeah, that was well thought out. Those few words, weren't they?
Well, they were written by a proper essayist. In fact, I recognise the name. He's quite a well-known essayist, so somebody who knows how to write. And it was that replacement of judgment by procedure which really struck me. Yeah. Yes. Because I was telling somebody this morning. I went for a walk this morning with a mate about when we tried to have that repair cafe in Nether Edge, and they insisted that everything be pack tested before we plugged it in. To which you have to say, it's a repair cafe. Everything's broken. That's the whole point.
How can you pack test something before you plug it in? Surely you have to plug it in to pack test it.
Oh dear. Yes.
But yes, don't even go there with the pack testing thing.
But I had an interesting story from an old mining engineer person that I know. Not an engineer, a sort of maintenance type guy. Who he didn't spend a lot of time underground. It was mostly minehead machinery. And he was saying from when he was starting back in the 60s and 70s that you used to have to go up onto the machinery high up without a harness in order to learn how to be safe. Yeah. afterwards, you wore the harness in case there was an accident.
Yeah.
You didn't wear the harness to stay safe. You wore the harness in case there was an accident because you already knew how to be safe.
Yes.
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 And of course, they wouldn't let you do that now.
No. But yes, I see the problem. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah. If you go onto something high without a safety harness on, you've got far less chance of falling off it.
Yeah.
Because you concentrate more.
Oh well, that's right. You learn how to use the space, how to be safe in the space. But accidents still happen, so it's a good idea to have the harness.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. But yes, you've got it spot on, I think there.
Yeah. But a friend fell off a ladder. Where are we? Last week, and damaged his shoulder. Yeah. So it does happen. But the problem is with getting older is you don't realise just how slow your reaction times are, etc., until such time as you have an accident, and then you think, "I'm glad I didn't have that accident high up."
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I only tripped
you and your other exploits.
So yeah, because I actually own a full body harness and I do use it. So
that's all right if you've got something to attach it to, though.
yeah, well, there's eye bolts around the house, and if I work through a window, I tie it to the inside of the house.
Ah.
In case of slip, you know.
Sounds good.
They're going to say clip it onto a ladder. Oh dear. But yeah. Hey, you weren't here. Neither of you were here earlier on when I was telling Alan. A video has surfaced on YouTube about radios. Did you know if you listen to a DAB radio as opposed to listening to an old FM radio, you use 20 times much electricity? They're 20 times less efficient than an old FM radio.
What you mean, the receiver?
Well, the whole radio. If you got the guy on YouTube, he got a sort of 1970s FM radio, the sort you'd stand on the worktop in the kitchen, you know, about yay big.
Yes.
Yeah. And he got a similar size Roberts radio, DAB. Yeah.
Yeah.
He tuned them both to the same station. They were both running off of variable power supplies, so you could make sure they were both getting exactly the same power. And he put a multimeter in series with them.
Yeah.
And he found out that one of them, the Roberts one, was something like, I think it was 3.8 watts, and the FM one barely registered half a watt.
Right. There might be a good reason for that, and that is that those ones that you've got in the background, Ian, in the wooden boxes, they have quite high performance speakers, and high performance speakers run at a much higher power, but with a much lower speaker volume.
When they work, they do give a good reproduction. I have to admit that.
So a 70s radio with just one of those little 2-inch paper cone speakers in it, in a plastic box, is probably running at 100%, as close to 100% efficiency as it can get, and sounds tinny and horrible. Yeah.
No, it weren't a little one gone. It was a fairly biggish one.
Yeah, but I was exaggerating to make a point. Yeah. So, because that's one of the things I think's changed with hi-fi speakers, is that the old ones were designed to be efficient because the power amplifiers, it was quite difficult to get lots of power out of a power amplifier back in the day when I was messing around with these things in the 70s. Yeah, but now you can get enormous amounts of power out of transistors, so you can afford to have very, very high performance speakers, but they burn more watts as a result. So I would suggest that might be the reason.
Yeah. It didn't go any further than that. It didn't say what the reason was. It made very little difference whether you listened on the modern radio on DAB or FM.
Right.
That made very little difference to it.
Yeah, because with any piece of audio equipment these days, almost all of the power is driven by the volume control. The rest of the thing burns virtually nothing. So it's only when you turn the volume up that it starts drawing any significant juice.
But the thing is, what we take away from this is, if you want to save on your electricity bill, throw your DAB radio away.
Well, at 3.8 watts, I think I'd rather save my eardrums for some decent music.
I think my two pure radios over there are trying to economise because neither of them will show a display at all.
Right.
They don't use much power if they don't switch on.
No. Yeah, because the display being liquid crystal is almost zero. Yes. Whereas an old display on old, and once the radios get to a certain age, then they've got light bulbs in them. But then older still, they've got valves in them.
Something like this one. It's got a nice little lip.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
Yep.
Yes. So as soon as you put the back light on for the display, it starts burning almost all the power just to drive the little light.
That one's shortwave as well.
Yeah.
Shortwave
right.
Shortwave.
Yeah.
Does it do long wave as well?
Is it what, sorry?
Does it do long wave radio, Atlantic 252?
It's got Atlantic, medium. What has it got? Shortwave, light wave, medium wave, FM.
Right.
Oh.
But it's lost one of its little sliders. That one says shortwave spread, and the slider's missing.
No, that's where the 3D printer comes to the rescue, you see.
Yeah. So
things like that.
Can't sell it down in the charity shop because it's not quite complete.
Right.
So
you're not having much luck with radios, really, are you, at the minute?
Yeah. I fail you every time, I'm afraid. Those two pure radios, one of them actually comes on when it wants to. And then it goes off again.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't come on at all, and neither of them will show any display.
Right.
So,
have you got the circuit diagrams for them at all? Is that stuff available these days?
I don't know. I haven't tried, to be honest. I'm afraid that's beyond me, Gordon.
Right.
You know,
because you need a circuit diagram, and it needs to have voltage points on it so that you can actually check what it's supposed to be at various places.
Yes. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yes.
My ability stretches to looking for the power and seeing if there's anything obvious and smell it, and that's about where I stop.
Are those two you've got there the same?
Yes.
They are exactly the same, are they?
Yep.
You get some of them that look the same and aren't.
Well, this is the same model, the Evoke 1S, I think it is.
Right.
There's another one down at St. Luke's Charity. It appears to be exactly the same, but it's got a floral pattern wallpaper instead of the wood, and it's got a different name on the front. But other than that, it appears to be the same outlay and everything.
I think they're made on for various people to sell and put their own name on them, sort of thing.
Yeah. It has got some fancy name. I forget what it is. But I haven't brought that one home yet. I thought I'd just play with these.
People, you know, like Currys and that used to put their own name on stuff, didn't they? They used to have like a brand, like a name that you never heard of that was like their brand name for stuff that they badged. And I think those radios have the same sort of thing. They get badged for other people. A bit like Jones sewing machines used to get badged for the co-op and things like that.
Oh no, sewing machines ring the bell with me. I was talking to somebody the other day about old sewing machines. They've got a couple. Have you got a place for old meaning more at least 50 years old sewing machines to go?
Basically,
he was asking about it. But the interesting thing is that one of them is the power is operated by a knee device. So you rock your knee from side to side, and it. Have you seen one of those? I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not seen one in the flesh. I've heard of it.
Well, if you wanted to see one, I could get you one.
Yeah, it's an attachment basically on an ordinary sewing machine. If the machine is electric, you plug it in instead of plugging a foot pedal into it.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, this person used to marvel at her mother or auntie or whatever relation it was, working this sewing machine with her knee, whilst her hands were doing all the manipulation of the thread and the cloth and so on. Yeah,
yes, it's certainly a thing that is. I have heard of them. What becomes interesting when they're electric sewing machines like that is often the sewing machine can be a lot older than the electric motor that's on it.
Oh yes. I've got. I think ours is. It's a Jones, and it belonged to Chrissy's mother, who would have last used it around about 1960, and I think the motor was an attachment that you could buy later.
Yeah.
I've got a sewing machine.
Yeah. Go on, Ian, sorry.
I've got a sewing machine downstairs at the moment, brought home for pat test, etc. Because I'm not able to pat test down at Sewer Rider, and I thought it looked a bit special, and I had to assemble it with its additional piece of equipment, and I thought I'd better Google it. It turns out retail is about £4,000, and this thing with the attachment does embroidery for you. So if you want the corporate logo on your vest pocket or something, it does all that sort of thing.
Yeah, got one here. Got one here. Mum and Dad had it for making Christmas cards.
Yeah. This is a second hand that somebody's just given in to the charity.
Yeah,
wow.
Is it a brother?
We should be able to flog it for about £1,500, I think, from what I can see.
Right.
Good luck.
Well, it looks as new. With your vintage ones, if there was no other interest and you wanted to get rid of them, St. Luke's do have a vintage department.
Right.
St. Luke's Hospice.
Yes.
I work at their shop on Crooks.
Right.
And then anything that comes in as vintage, they can send off to their vintage department.
Right, well, I'll let this person know. She might be quite keen on that because she's a retired GP.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be some stuff there.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, of course, they won't put it in their charity shop because they only put crap in the charity shop.
Oh, yes.
Now, you notice I didn't mention Sewer Rider in that respect. Because they do have crap in, but St. Luke's trying to keep the standards up. And
yes, their one on Ecclesall Road is often quite nice.
Yeah, and that's why they have these special departments.
Yeah, right. I never knew that. No, I will tell her.
Yeah.
Because I did say, well, you could just put it on Freegal if you were just trying to get some space. Yeah.
Where is the vintage department of St. Luke's then?
I don't actually know. I only know that they send these things off.
Yeah.
So where do they go?
They have individuals who are interested in certain aspects, like cameras and watches. Individuals
Right.
with their own interests, and they engage them to do this sort of work for them.
Yeah.
Voluntary work.
So again, they don't go into the charity shops. So again, for anybody looking for anything vintage or anything, it's entirely pointless going in the charity shop.
It depends who gets it. With this particular thing, this sewing machine downstairs, this expensive one,
Yeah.
I've not taken it back because the manager's not there, and I won't want somebody else to put a 20 quid price tag on it and stick it on the shop floor. But it's,
To be honest with you, the 20 quid price tag is probably about right,
I doubt it.
because they are so complicated and they are so badly made
This
that
has got the name.
you'll be pushing it to find somebody who wants one, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'll let you know. This one's got the Husqvarna name on.
It's what, sorry?
It's got the Husqvarna, as in motorbikes.
Oh, right. Well, that's a respectable name.
Didn't know they made sewing machines.
And no, I didn't. But it's a hell of a piece of equipment with a full computer screen on, and all the menus and legends.
Yeah, they are, and they've got like a bed that moves about, haven't they? A bit like a computer plotter.
That on this one, that's the additional bit that you slide onto the standard bed. So you've got the standard machine with its computer screen, and then you've got this addition that you slide onto the bed.
Yeah,
and that moves up and down.
To put your embroidery hoop thing onto that, slide it on, clip it on, and then when doing embroidery, it moves around and
that's it.
And does it. Yeah, my mum and dad had one, but they had a brother one.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've still got it. And although it's brilliant in what it does, A, it's very plasticky, and B, it's a bit of a one-trick pony. How much embroidery do you really want to do in your life?
Certain people would.
Yes, that's the thing.
You might say how many people sort of want ice cakes in their life, but my wife's just been down to the Sugarcraft Dem at the NEC, and it's a totally international event. People come from all over the world.
If you do it as a business or as a hobby. These machines aren't really geared up for working as a business though, because one of the problems with them is that when you come to a bit of your design where you want to change the colour, of course you've got to rethread it all. So you can be doing a design. We use it for Christmas cards. My mum makes Christmas cards with it. My dad, when he was around, used to operate the machine. Since he died, I operate the machine and make the things, then she makes the Christmas cards. But the problem with it is, it's sat there going dunk, 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 doing the stitching and moving about. But then every couple of minutes or so, it stops and beeps at you because it wants a different coloured thread.
Right. Yeah.
So you've got to sit with it to keep rethreading it. Yeah. And it might take half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to do one little picture, about size of like a patch that you have on a patch badge type thing.
Yeah.
It might take half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to do that. But you've got to sit there all that time with it. You can't go and come back 3/4 of an hour later, because every couple of minutes it wants a different colour thread, and you've got to do it manually.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Because it's only got one needle in it, so So you kind of stuck. So you think, oh, it's a brilliant thing, and it is a brilliant thing, but it's very time consuming to do one piece of embroidery on it, and it's very boring because you have to sit there with it.
Is your mum's all computerized with a screen and?
Yeah, it's not a pleasant thing to do. It's the sort of thing you buy, like my mum and dad did. They bought it as a sort of hobby thing, and they soon got fed up of using it.
Right, that could be why we've got it then.
Yeah, and that's why I say 20 quid might not be far off.
I see what you're saying. Is your mum's computerized then?
Yes. Yes. It's a little LCD screen on that one.
Right.
But it still comes up with a little picture of what you're doing and stuff. Yeah.
Oh right. I've never seen them.
The other thing about it is you can't just like digitize a picture and put it into it and it does it. You have to have specially designed patterns.
Yeah. Because
it has to know which way the stitches need to go and how far apart the stitches need to be and all that kind of business. So it's not just like digitizing a colour picture, and that don't work. It's got to be a specially designed pattern.
Yeah.
So to almost draw by a draftsman sort of thing.
Yeah. You've certainly described a different aspect to it, which I had no idea of. Yeah.
You see them sat there, you think, God, and if ever you see that Create and Craft TV thing that's on Freeview, shopping channel thing, Create and Craft, they sell them on there, and they make them look brilliant on there, but they are very tedious to use after about the first hour. First hour it's a novelty and it's fun to watch, and after about first hour it's bloody tedious because you can't set it going and go, right, I'll come back in 3/4 of an hour and just take that one out and put another one in. You can't. You have to sit with it and keep changing all colours. So it's not as good as you think.
No.
And there's a lot to go wrong with them because they are very, very fine precision thing, obviously, for where it's put in. That thing that moves about has got to move to within maybe within 1/100th of an inch every time and be spot on.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there's not more than one bobbin on it, cotton reel or whatever. I've got an overlocker down at Sue Rider, and that's got about 6 cotton reels on, all the different colours. So I'm surprised the same's not true of this embroidery machine.
Yeah, well, overlockers are a weird thing. They use a lot of different threads all at the same time, don't they? A sewing machine only uses 2. I mean, there's industrial machines that have got like more than one sewing head and more than one needle. So one sort of, they're like about 6 sewing machines joined together. So sewing machine with red head on comes along and that does a bit, and then that goes off. One with blue comes and that does a bit, and that goes off. But they're many thousands of pounds. No change out to £100,000 for one of them. But what you're describing sounds similar to this brother one.
Yeah, sounds like it. They'll both probably be sent off to eBay, I guess.
Yeah, probably. They're not brilliant things.
I can see what you're saying. It's on eBay that I got the idea that 1,500 quid might be appropriate for a second-hand one. But yes, I see what you're saying.
No.
Yeah, but what you've got to remember,
they're not that new.
Is there are probably people out there who are enthusiastic enough to take the trouble, right? And we don't know how their brains work.
Yeah.
But their brains do work because they turn out this amazing stuff. So and the wonderful thing about eBay is it finds them.
Yes, that's right. The audience is big enough.
Yes, there is a big enough audience out there. So long as you mark it up for the search engine. Because we did quite well with about the Selectric wall clocks, Andy. You were talking about one of them a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That they're coming in at about 200 quid. But somebody put one on eBay in the ever so slightly wrong category, and it didn't get found, and I got it for 90.
Nice one.
Which is because I broke our own one, which itself cost 50 quid 10 years ago, and I got them.
Gordon, my one.
The Bakelite shattered into a million pieces.
My one came in a box of bits from Sheffield Auction Gallery with a couple of telephones for a tenner.
Right, you lucky person, yes. But anyway, so that does happen sometimes, I think, on eBay. But you have to make sure it goes in the right category, because that's the ones where the specialists are searching.
The thing about eBay is, the stupid thing about eBay is, people have stuff these days and they think it's worth something. Because they look at eBay and they go, oh, there's one for sale on eBay and it's £10,000 on eBay, so mine must be worth £10,000. It's on eBay. It's not bloody sold for £10,000 though, has it? That's just what some greedy gits put it on there for. It's actually worth £4.50.
Yeah, and slightly exaggerated, but yes.
It's not exaggerated, actually, Gordon. It's not. There are things on there that are 100 times what they ought to be, and when I look through it, I put old dial telephones in and look through that, and there are things there on eBay now that are listings that finish in 4 or 5 days time, put on a couple of days ago. Those things have been on eBay continuously, been relisted for well over 5 years.
Yes.
I recognise the items, that they're just always there.
I think you've got to look under the auction heading and just look, see if there's any bids. And if there's no bids, you can expect that to happen, just as you described.
Well, yes. You have to learn how to use the thing.
Yes.
I mean, somebody that person that's completely risky is hoping that some fool will come along who's not wise to it, and they do exist in very large numbers, and it's sad, but that's what happens.
Another thing I found out about it though this last week that seems to happen. I've not double checked this, so it's worth somebody double checking it. Like you say, looking for the bids doesn't necessarily work, because you can put something on eBay. Let's say you put on one of them broken radios behind you here that might be worth a fiver for spare parts. You can put that on with a starting bid of £10,000. Then you can put a reserve price on it of £15,000. Then you can bid on it up to £14,999. Put umpteen bids on it, and it shows on eBay that it's had 20 bids. And it's at £14,999, and you think there must be something about that, because people have been willing to bid £14,999 for it. Well, it's the bloody seller who's done it, or a mate of the seller who's done it, because they know damn well that they've not got to buy it, because they know it's got a reserve 15 grand on it. So just because there's a lot of bids on something doesn't necessarily mean it's worth what those bids are. Do you see what I mean? It's one of the many scams.
It's buyer beware, isn't it? So it doesn't take much research, I don't think, to find what typical prices are. Yes. I mean, I did all that research for the clocks, the Selectric clocks. There's lots and lots of subcategories. There's lots and lots of different sizes. But so long as you're looking at lots of stuff, you can see that there are a few outliers where people are wanting stupid money to ignore, but they tend to congregate in the middle. Yeah, it's the law of averages, really. But if all you're thinking about is, oh, I've got this thing and I can get lots of money for it, well, you're not actually going to be looking properly, because you're looking at it with the wrong attitude. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is all very interesting. But I've got stuff to do and chill out. So I'm going to leave you and hopefully see you again next week.
Yeah. We shall be.
I'll do the thing, yeah.
And I'll let you know. I'll let you know how good the Midlands Hotel was.
Yeah, take some photos.
Yeah, and whether the chef knows how to cook vegetables, because I'm a vegetarian.
No, look at that.
Well, we'll have to see. But hey ho. Right. Cheers.
There's always a chip shop down the road gone.
Yes. Yes.
Chips and vegetables.
Cheers.
See you.
Good night, Gordon. Good night, Andy.
Right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
see you next week.
We'll see you soon. Cheers.